I will now tell you something about, let's say, the theory of globalization, but we have to take care not to think of all these aspects of globalization as something which is an absolute novelty. I will mention several cases in which what we are experiencing now is just the last stage or the most advanced stage of globalization, of this phenomenon that exists. I don't want to, some say since the inception of human history, I would say since the beginning of the modern era. Globalization means a planetary dimension of phenomena, but this was what Karl Marx in his Capital already analyzed as the creation of a world market driven by the force of capitalism. Enhanced interdependence, which is something that everybody can experience and does actually experience in everyday life, but it was something that was already mentioned or already stated by the Greek historian Polybius in the 2nd century before century, the Greek historian and not the video game with the same name. And what is perhaps even more visible to everybody is the dwarfing, the reduction of importance and dimension and the importance of time and space. Of course, although perhaps you have to be almost as old as I am in order to perceive the astonishing progress in this field of the dwarfing of time and space, even if the original formula that the theorists of globalization invented in the early 90s, globalization as the death of geography, turned out to be not correct. Globalization also means a degree of high degree of competition, but a competition which is redefined first by interdependence. Think of the U.S. public debt owned mainly by Chinese investors, and also in its political consequences is defined by the unavailability of war, of major war, because this would mean a nuclear war and nobody wants to have it. Globalization has a complex relationship with inequality as defined through the Gini coefficient, because the inequality among countries and also within many countries has gone up. But inequality among the citizens of this planet has gone down thanks to globalization. Think of, which is also mathematically easy to understand if you think of the 600 million Chinese lifted out of poverty and therefore changing the balance of poverty and inequality on a worldwide scale. Poverty has become a major policy problem in developing countries, but I would say in world politics altogether. Think of the Millennium Development Goals that have already halved worldwide poverty, and there are hopes, there are grounds to hope that by 2030, poverty, absolute poverty, the people living under with an income below $1.25 per day, that by 2030 poverty may be eradicated. Also, the reduction of gender inequality is also in progress, although I think very much remains to be done. Growth has been, in the reduction of poverty, a major force. The experts mean that growth has provided 2/3 of the leverage, and equalizing social policies the remaining third. More comes in the next video.